Hello everyone. Today I would like to share some of the board games that we play together at home as a family activity during weekends and during holidays. So these games are have been collected over many years. Some we have bought and some were gifted to my daughter during her birthdays. So just wanted to share a few games that we really enjoy so that can give you some ideas on what games to look at for your children as well. The first is this Guess in 10 board game. So this actually comes in individual versions. Like for example, this is Guess in 10 foods around the world, and this is about countries, and this is world of sports. So based on the clues, the person has to guess what is the card that is given. So it comes like this, where for example, this gives the food name has to be guess based on the buzzwords and the clues, and only questions can be asked. And it's quite interesting. And yes, after a while, once you have played this game long enough, you will start to guess very easily. But until that point, it is a lot of fun. So it comes in various themes, and this Guess in 10 board game is a combination of all four. It has food, countries, landmarks. So it's sort of like a same concept but in a board game format. The next game is called Picturea. This is quite an interesting game. It helps to improve our observation skills. So there are multiple cards with various images. So based on the clue that we select, for example, things from the sea, one has to quickly identify the different things that you would see in a sea. So all the objects and things and people, they are all jumbled together, and it's quite interesting. You have to spread this out on the floor and quickly guess. There are various themes and also combinations that one can choose from. So this can get quite competitive and very interesting as well. The other favorite game, yes, this game name is called Pandemic. This is a strategy game, and this is a cooperative game where um, whoever is playing, we all play together with the intent of eradicating the um, infections. So that is why it's called as pandemic. So how the infections spread through various cities, and there are different roles for each of the players. And the game is very nicely designed. You can I think after um, COVID-19, we all know many of these terms. So it talks about how the epidemic spreads and how different people work together to make sure that this is controlled and a cure is found and it is eradicated. So it's quite an interesting strategy game. Maybe it would be more helpful or more interesting for kids above 9-10 years old. So these are the different roles that one could take up: contingency planner, dispatcher, medic, operations expert, quarantine specialist, researcher, scientist, and so on. So each have their own roles to play, and it's quite an interesting cooperative strategy based game. More relatable for children above, say, 9-10 years old. The next game, this is my absolute favorite. This is called Sequence. This is a card based game. Uh, you can two players, starting from two players, you can play this game. I've also gifted this to some of my friends as well because it's very easy and it's it's both relying on strategy and luck. So you, based on the cards you are dealt with, you'll have to place and then you'll have to form a sequence, either horizontally or vertically or diagonally, and whoever is able to finish the sequence first is declared the winner. So this game can get really competitive, and it's quite a lot of fun to play together. Even just with 2 3 people, it is quite interesting. The other interesting game is Othello. This is again quite a bit of planning involved. So here, this is very similar to the marble game that we used to play back in the 80s and 90s, where you'll cross and you will take out the marble, right? So similarly here, you'll have to cross and take out the opposite color. So this also requires quite a bit of thinking, and it helps in understanding how to navigate, how to make sure that you are not get caught in a corner. So this is again a very interesting game. uh, Again, I would say this is for slightly older kids, maybe 9 10 years old. They will be able to enjoy this game. This game is one of my daughter's favorites. This is called Cluedo. It's a detective game where, based on the clues that we get, we'll have to guess who is the culprit. So here we try to find a murderer, and it's like, which weapon he used, where um, uh, the murder happened. So this is like it's very similar to some of the movies that we might have seen in the recent past. Quite interesting game, but again, after a few rounds of play, you might get used to the flow of the game. So repeat value, I would say, maybe after a year or so, it does tend to get boring, at least for adults, but children, they might still continue to enjoy this game. This game is called the Game of Life. So this is like a board game which different milestones of life, getting a college degree, getting married, getting kids, buying a house, um, and depending on what we do, there are points we earn, and we get rewards as well. So in this game, you spin this wheel, and you, based on the count, you will move in the path of life, and you will face multiple challenges as well. You will get payday every few moves, payday and pay increase, and then there could be a surprise game show that could happen. You might win some reward, you might lose some money because of taxes or any other issues, and then you'll have to go and complete the entire map. So this is like the Game of Life. um, this is mostly a luck based game, but at the same time, quite a lot of fun. It does take a lot of time to finish this game. Once you start, it would go on for at least an hour to 60 to 90 minutes for sure. Classic Monopoly. We also have the Indian version, which is the business. This is again, many of us have played in during our childhood as well. This game, never loses its charm. You buy the places, and then you build cities. You build houses, you build hotels, and whoever comes and gets caught, they get to pay a penalty and so on. It's a classic game, but this is the Monopoly, the original Monopoly version. This is the map is based on in UK. And this is another game. Again, this used to be popular in the 90s as well, Scotland Yard. This is again an investigative chasing game, where you try to find Mr. X. You play the role of detectives and you try to find where is Mr. X. Again, recently we have got so much interested in this game. It can get very very interesting. It is based on strategy as well as a lot of good guesses. So the player Mr. X is who the other detectives have to chase and catch. So the other detectives have to interact and work together cooperatively to catch Mr. X. So quite an interesting game, and we love to play this. This is like the recent favorite during weekends. So these are some of the games that we love to play. Do share in the comments if any of these games you have played, or among these, which ones are your favorite. Thank you.